Usually when I'm invited, they forgot I'm short. Hello guys, good morning. My name is Kansime, and like you've heard, it's all me, as short as I am, and proudly hosting East Africa's Got Talent. He said I was going to be, I already am. When I was called, I made sure they would regret involving me. I intended to wear it like a badge, and I'm sure they are nearly frightened that I'm even part of it now. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for coming. I've never seen this many lenses. I feel like I'm reading the budget. No, it's really interesting. I feel like I'm supposed to adjust. This is very serious. I've never found myself in a situation like this, and I am so excited. That's what East Africa's Got Talent is all about, making us experience things that are amazing for the first time. So please enjoy with me. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming, the media teams we have here. I don't know what you're writing for, which page you're writing for, which news platform you're writing for, but write as much as you can, because today is going to be beautiful. And I saw a sneak peek. I can't believe I'm part of whatever it is that we just saw. So I wanted to start by thanking our sponsors. You know you cannot thank the maid for the food when the mother is the one who cooked it. So let's thank the sponsors. I'm telling you, while we are very grateful that East Africa's Got Talent is here, we thank the ones making it happen. I want to give it up, of course, for One by One. Want to give it up for Safaricom. Want to give it up for Coca Cola. We want to give it up for everyone that has decided to own this like a problem. And thank you so much, and we are going to make you proud. My God, I'm going to show myself, and you'll not believe it. Now, I would like to start by wanting to listen from the people that give us money. When they speak, then the program has started, right? We start with a beautiful lady called Elizabeth Sarah Scott, and she's from One by One, and she's our East African coordinator. And she's very beautiful. Trust me, you want to see her standing up. Yes. Look at her. Clap. No, seriously. You people, be serious.
Good day, everybody. I'm actually only going to say a few words. I'm here to introduce one of our partners, Koinange Gitahi, commonly known as Gigi, to represent us today and to talk about universal health coverage and why this platform is so important to it. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. When I came here, I was wondering why I'm here, because I don't think I have any talent, but then I thought I can speak about universal health coverage. That's my talent. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, everyone. I work with Upperhill Health Africa as the CEO, as the group CEO. I'm a doctor. But I want to talk about something very interesting about why One by One and why universal health coverage is connected to this, actually. It's kind of a very odd marriage. The One by One campaign is about ensuring that countries in Africa achieve universal health coverage one by one. So we work with them. I work with the Global Committee for Universal Health Coverage with WHO and World Bank. And our aim is to ensure that every country achieves universal health coverage. But let me take it down a little. Imagine we are talking about East Africa's Got Talent, and imagine a young girl born today in Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, and the same day, a young girl is also born in United Kingdom, or whichever country you would like to pick from Europe or North America. When those girls are born, they all have the same potential. When they're born, they all look forward, they have dreams, they have hopes, and the potential. It doesn't matter their color, where they were born, which hospital, who their parents were, but they have the same potential, 100% to be who they want to be on East Africa Got Talent, to be seated here. But as their life goes on, by the time they're about 18 years, which is where we become adult and we start now to look at our lives and our potential, the potential for those children born in those different countries is different, completely different. For the one in the UK, the potential to achieve their dreams may be 80%. The potential for the young girl who is born in Uganda might be only 38%. 62% of her potential has gone away. For the one in Tanzania, it may be 40%, 60% of the potential has gone away. And in Kenya, it's about 52%, so 48% of the potential has gone away. And what eats away at the potential of all those children, yet they were born with the same potential, with the same hopes and the same dreams? It is health and education. It's the experiences in health, it's the experiences in education that actually determines whether by the time they're 18, they have the same potential, 100%, or it's been eaten away. Now, if you want to improve the potential of those children who are born today, to make sure that by the time they're 18, they have the same potential across the world, doesn't matter where you're born. It is something Warren Buffett calls the ovarian lottery, that depending on where you're born and which ovary you came from and where your mother came from, then that determines who you become in future. But if you want to give all these people the same potential by the time they're 18, then you have to make sure that they have the same opportunity at education and the same opportunity at health. Now, health is the basis for everything. And if you are born to a mother who was not properly fed, or didn't breastfeed you, or didn't go to hospital and therefore didn't deliver in the hospital, delivered you in the little village in the house, and therefore you didn't get vaccination that you required, and therefore as you go along, you have malaria early, or you have TB, you get stunted, you get unwell, and therefore you don't really live a good life, a good healthy life early enough. When you go to school, you'll probably be last, because your brain didn't develop properly, because you didn't have enough nutrition. And as you go along, you'll be the last in class, and therefore, at the end of the day, you don't get your full potential. That's what happens to the child in Uganda, in Kenya, in Tanzania, whereas the one in Europe or North America has access to education, has access to health. This is why health is important for talent. It is important for people doing the things they want to do and living a full life. For young girls born in sub-Saharan Africa, in some of the countries I've talked about, you realize that because they don't have access to all these things I'm talking about, like health, they'll get pregnant early. In Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, we are talking about a teenage crisis, a teenage pregnancy crisis. The reason we're having a teenage pregnancy crisis is because if you're 16 and you go to your local health center and you want family planning, no one will give it to you. Therefore, you need to get money to go to a pharmacy, to talk to somebody, to tell you what you need to do for your family planning. So you end up having teenage pregnancy. And when you have teenage pregnancy, if you're in Tanzania and Magufuli is your president, then you can't go back to school. Okay? So these are the challenges that we have to go through. And therefore, universal health coverage comes in to say, how do we ensure that every girl, every boy, everyone born today has an equal chance to access the health they need, when they need it, where they need it, without having to worry about who pays for it. That's universal health coverage in a nutshell. So in this country, in Kenya, the president a few years declared we are going to achieve universal health coverage. That's why we have Afya Care brand there. We are working with the Ministry of Health as AMREF and other partners to make sure Kenya achieves universal health coverage so that nobody has to worry about where they get their health, when, and how they pay for it. Because you know what? 1 million people in this country, in Kenya, get poor every year because of health costs. All of us here have attended a sort of fundraising for the health bills of a friend or a relative, or even for ourselves. The universal health coverage speaks to a day when you never have to worry about that. That's what countries in Europe and North America have achieved. When do we achieve that for sub-Saharan Africa? So we are really glad to be partners to this, to talk about achieving health as something for everyone, not for the Minister of Health, not for the President, but each of us to think about how do we participate in ensuring that every child born can look to a future when they don't have to worry about where to access their health and who will pay for it. That is universal health coverage. We are glad to be part of this, and thank you very much.
Using us for being men because of how strong we are. Mr. Stroke, Miss. Well, I have to remember that one, Miss Cover. I will never forget it, ever, ever. And now my tongue has been jogging when I was seated, because the person I'm about to introduce, their name is truly botanical. I'm telling you, someone who has their name and it is theirs, and there's nothing you can do to take it away from them. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Sitoyo.
There's no bigger person who supported arts and culture in this country like Bob Colimo.
I can't wait for her to come and tell you how it is all going to happen, because I've experienced some of it, and if I put it in words, this footage won't be good for people who are awake at this time, because of the excitement that will be in my voice and in my words. So please welcome with me Lilias Bod, our series producer from Rapid Blue, our production partners, and she's my friend, and I'll send you the rest in a message.
Hesitation is the quality of the talent that we've found in East Africa. Honestly, I'm not saying that. Well, you'll see it yourself.
Happy, so happy to be. If I start talking about how I feel about being the host of East Africa, how much time do we have? I think we're all anxious, waiting to receive the judges. And she talked about the chemistry that's between the judges. I think what we have takes all the 3 science subjects. We have physics. Slowly, take your time. East Africa, it's part of our talent.
It's part of your talent?
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of shy.
Yeah, we have to put energy in everything we are doing. And there's something we want to show you. I'm feeling sorry for you guys. You won't be able to see it very well. What do you mean? You will? Okay. If you like. Wow. I told you you're not ready and you thought I was joking. You are not ready. Indeed, you're not. And you can imagine, I forgot to tell you where you're going to watch this. Why do you people pay me? I forgot to tell them where they're going to watch these shows. We have amazing media partners, of course, in every country. In Uganda, we have NBS. It's going to be airing on NBS. In Rwanda, it's going to be Rwanda TV. And in Tanzania, it's going to be Clouds Media. In Uganda, it's Citizen, of course.
Kenya.
Sorry, in Kenya, it's Citizen. See, I feel Citizen is my TV. Because people started loving me from Citizen. So when I'm talking about it, I think of it as if it's in Uganda. I don't know what the Ugandan TVs will do to me after this. But yeah, Citizen stole my heart. Just like.
That's our prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us this morning. It's been an interesting journey. As Lilias clearly said, we are almost halfway into the project. But there's so many years of hard work behind. From my chairman, Mr. Joseph Kusaga, who first dreamt about. I remember we were seated at our offices in Abu Dhabi, and he says, "Why is there Arabs Got Talent? Why don't we have East Africa's Got Talent?" It sounded a bit far-fetched, to be honest. But he's a very persistent man, and he says, "Yes, we can do it. Yes, we can do it." And it went on and on until we got the franchise license for East Africa. For those of you who don't know, this is the only second time that Got Talent global format is in more than one country. East Africa's Got Talent is the only second time. The first one being Asia's Got Talent, which I believe brings together about 5 countries. So it has never been done apart from, this is the second time. So many of us have been learning on the job as how to put this together. We have seen a lot on the journey, as Lilia said. I'm not going to repeat that. And her emotions could tell. And I can't wait for the 4th of August for you to get to see, to be part of this journey of discovery that we've been on from the very onset to now. I would really love to thank our sponsors who have believed in this. We came to them with just a dream. Some people thought it was just a pipe dream. Some stood with us and they said, yeah, it's actually very possible. Safaricom PLC, thank you very much for having believed in us. I know it's been a journey of a few years, talking about this, talking about bringing it to life. M-Pesa, and very strange that Mr. Sito just mentioned it. I'm always on the road, mostly here, and I have to send money back in Rwanda, so I have to get on M-Pesa so that I'm in less trouble for my absence from home. So thank you for keeping connecting us as East Africans, which is in line with what you believe in when you said, let's bring together East Africa. I would like to thank Kate, please Sarah, pass my regards to Kate, who could not join us today, although in New York, for having, we just met once and she says, yes, I want to be part of this. And I remember many years back, I think you may remember, there was a time, there was a journey somewhere in Senegal when there was a caravan of artists going to France to record. And that was a beautiful caravan as well. So when we came to Got Talent with One by One, it was really in line. We can only do this or dream about this if we're healthy and alive. So I believe our priorities are very well aligned. To Coca Cola company, Beatrice has been an angel to us. Over 3 years of back and forth. Many times she could call me, Lee, are you ready? And they say, not yet. And then when I call her, wrong timing. So, finally, I'm very happy to have Coca Cola Company joining us and keeping us refreshed as we go on this journey. And last but not least, I remember a few months back when I went to Uganda and I called up Anne. I had never met Anne before. And I called her up and she thought I was bluffing. And she says, whatever it is, I'm with you. And she never looked back. Same with these ladies and gentlemen that you see in front here. Amazing personalities. I've known Vanessa, I think, for a long time. Long time. And I'm really proud for what they have really made of themselves to this point. We've had a challenge, and Makeda will forgive me. I'll give an example of Rwanda. When you're trying to find a judge from Rwanda, we didn't really know what to look for. Do we look for fame? Do we look for authenticity? We wanted a combination of all that. The other thing that we wanted to also do is to start the stardom status in Rwanda. And also make sure that people believe that you don't have to be vulgar to be recognized. You don't have to be obscene to be a star. This is such a family format, and you want the entire family to sit together on Sunday night and actually enjoy the show. And we are very happy to find that in Makeda, and same as the rest of the team. So I won't say much more. I can just say I'm really as excited as Anne is, and I hope you get excited when you see what we've got for you. Thank you so much, Rapid Blue, for believing that it's been done in Asia. Why not we do it also in East Africa and bring people together? And your professionalism is unquestionable. And we can only look forward to this and many more to come. So pass my regards to the entire Rapid Blue team, Mr. Duncan, Ed, and everybody down in Johannesburg, who have been very patient with us. And we can only hope that as we go into the future, it will be worth it when you see the kids that are on the show. I said I was finishing, but I think I should say this. There was a young boy who auditioned, I think he was 7 years old, or 9, and got a through pass to come to Nairobi, but couldn't get a way out. So I remember when Nairobi and Lilias calls me and says, what do we do? But the excitement we got when that young man came to Nairobi with the father, in time for the auditions in Thika, it was worth it. So as we go on this journey, I hope you enjoy it as we are enjoying it right now, and we won't give so much away. The rest is back to you, Anne. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
So as the judges leave, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank everyone for coming today. I mean, we're going to have quite some bit of an opportunity for everyone else as they come. So, guys, ready for this? Yes.
Come here and talk about that judge that you said you wanted to talk about. Then we'll watch what we want to watch. The spotlight is yours. Show us your talent. It's not me. I don't know what to do. I can't even look at you. I can't. You brought it upon yourself.
I just wanted to let you know that Pokots are not just rustlers. We also run the largest mobile money platform in Kenya.
That's too funny. No, I tell you.
What was that, Zeta?
He deserves the golden buzzer.
You are through to the semifinals. All right.
And search as well. It makes me full in my heart to see the opportunities that we're giving young East Africans on.
The things, of course, Lee called me. He said, we need a judge from Rwanda. There's a judge from Kenya, one from Uganda, one from Tanzania. But one of the things I didn't know that I would realize is how much in common all the countries have. And seeing the talents, I was rooting for everyone as much as I was rooting for the Rwandans, even though I was ready to be like, I'm standing up for my people, everyone. I wanted to root for everyone, and I felt that. And I know everyone else is going to feel that when they're watching the show.
Yeah. We just discovered a new talent this morning. Lily is...
That's a spoiler. That's a spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Who do we think is the mean one on the show?
Yeah.
Who's the mean one? Jeff is the mean one?
All right, stay tuned.
It's just
stay
the people.
tuned.
You'd be surprised.
Who do we think will hit the golden buzzer first? I mean, one of the most famous quotes when you watch Got Talent is Simon Cowell saying,
Anyhow you feeling, you gotta keep it real every night and day. Coca Cola, the party go off. Your personality is set to show off. Anyhow you feeling, you gotta keep it real every night and day. No matter what I'm running, you have to sip Coca Cola and appear yourself.
To grow, and as you seek for to be the inaugural champions of East Africa's Got Talent. Let's give a hand clap to those guys. So, we all know what we're here to do, don't we? Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a lady, fine of the finest. Gentlemen, I'm sure there's going to be confusion in the room. She's from the Pearl of Africa, and she's going to be the host of East Africa's Got Talents. Let's give a hand clap for Anne Kansiime.
We have been able to do, the chemistry is too high. From, I don't know whether you're ready, from Tanzania, clear the entrances. She's from Tanzania, a very beautiful lady. She's a singer.